Good afternoon. My name is Blake Podasic. I'm a customer success manager with aboutGOLF that represents the East Coast commercial clients here in the US. Today we're going to be going through the settings and customizations available through many areas of your aboutGOLF simulator, and we'll be going through certain items that will basically make your life a little bit easier and help make the experience a lot more efficient and fun for your clients and end users. To get started, we're going to go through and open up the AG Sim Setup area. You'll see a window that pops up asking for a password. You do not need a password. Simply hit OK to bypass that option and open the main Sim Setup window. Within the Sim Setup area, the two tabs that are going to be most important for us are going to be the Game Default options and the Practice Default options. As we select the Game Default options, you're going to see a number of settings already in place, and I'll go through and show you exactly which ones should be left alone and which ones should be set to specific defaults to make things a little bit more efficient for you and your clients. To get started, the four options on top we generally leave the same. Auto upload at on, prompt to download online shots disabled. Unit settings are generally yards and miles per hour. If you're based overseas, you have the options of selecting meters and meters per second, meters and miles per hour, and meters and kilometers per hour. From there, we generally recommend leaving terrain effects enabled, and the main bulk of what is going to be most important is going to be under the new player defaults. At the top, we have the shot camera option. This is going to be your option for selecting the view in which the ball travels after you hit and what it looks like on the screen. This is going to be set specifically for the round play area. And you'll also see just below that we have a separate shot camera option for the range practice area as well. To get started, there are a number of different options. We have static camera, which basically shows the ball flying away from the hitting location and staying at the hitting location for the view. Dynamic cam is a bit of the same of that, but elevates a little bit up to show the ball flying through the air a bit more cleanly. TV camera is a personal favorite of mine. It shows the ball flying away from the hitting area and then zooms around to the landing area and shows where the ball comes in for a landing and ends at rest. Reverse camera is basically just going to show the landing area of where the ball is expected to show up after a hit is hit. The ball camera will show the camera view of the ball flying directly through the air and all the way through its resting place at the end of the shot. Reverse ball camera is the last option. It is the exact opposite of the ball camera. It shows the reverse view of the ball flying through the air away from the player's hitting location until it comes to rest in the fairway, rough, or hazard, wherever you might end up. From there, general preference for a lot of our indoor golf centers and commercial clients have the ball camera as the default option, as it seems to be the most popular with end clients and users. Same with the range shot camera. There are no differences in these camera options, so feel free to choose the best that you like, and just know that each individual online member has the availability to customize their favorite and preferred ball flight camera option as well. Moving on, we have the grid type. The grid type has to do with our short game area as far as putting and chipping is concerned. We recommend between the two options of line grid and spectrum map that we have the option for line grid. The spectrum grid is going to show red points as the highest of high points and blue as the lowest of low points. Kind of looks like a heat map. The line grid is going to take the coloration of that spectrum grid and apply it to a line grid that actually has little balls that will flow in the direction of undulations and basically different breaks on the green. We highly recommend using the line grid because it makes it a little bit easier to kind of get the lay of the land and also go through and make sure that we have the ability to easily see if the ball is going to break right to left or left to right, be uphill or downhill. From there, once you've made your selection of grid type, we recommend having the grid settings set for putting and chipping. Basically, we just want to make sure the client and end users know exactly where they're going to be at when they hit their chips and their putts. This makes it a bit easier, especially from off the green, to see if you need to hit over certain hills or obstacles. but allows the player the best option to see exactly what the green is doing at any point in time. From there, we have the swing profile. This is basically how the system is going to read your swing and calculate the shot that's been taken. We generally recommend that all users start with their swing profile at 5, 5, and 5. If there are adjustments needed, for instance, for players at altitude, you'll be able to adjust those numbers up a notch or two, and it will add velocity to the shots that you're hitting in order to be able to correctly and accurately get the distances that you're used to at altitude or with higher swing speeds. And last but not least, we have the round conditions defaults. Basically, what we're going to focus on in this area is the auto continue and the gimme distance. Setting these options is going to default those settings within the round play area to enable you to have 4 seconds for auto continue and anywhere from 3 feet to 12 feet for gimme distance as well. Auto continue allows you to go anywhere from off all the way up to 15 seconds in between shots. Generally, we recommend leaving this at 4 seconds as it allows the players a chance to see their data while also moving on to the next player efficiently and quickly. Once we have all of our items in place, we'll go ahead and hit save to make sure that any changes that we've made on this page have been saved in place, and then we'll go into the practice default area. So the practice default is going to deal with anything to do in the practice range area. So that can go from weather conditions such as wind speed and direction, to ground conditions, to sky conditions, to having the wind meter on to show you where the wind is coming from, as well as the auto continue timer, which is separate from the round play auto continue timer, and the time of day as well. The auto continue timer for the driving range, especially if you're just using the range to just warm up for a few minutes before your round, we recommend leaving it at 4 seconds or less, just to allow players to see their data and move through quickly. If you're going through with a lesson or using training tools such as AG flicks and AG balance plates, we recommend having a longer time so that you can analyze and evaluate the data from each shot, or you can even turn off the auto continue timer just to be able to make sure you're able to go through and analyze the flicks videos or the balance data as you need. From there, we'll go ahead and save any of the changes we've made, and we'll be all set as far as setting up the AG Sim setup practice defaults and round defaults. The reason that we did this is to enable new golfers that come in with an AG Locker online account to log in, have their preferences and defaults set in place, making it a little bit faster and quicker for those players to get in and play their round.